How can you say it was picked? There's definitely no pick.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Did it work? Are we up?
We're up.
I had to turn the AC down because it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Are we live?
I think
I'm
so.
George.
I don't
This
really
is
know how
Tom.
this works.
I don't think you're live yet, by the way. Oh, it says live. Let's see. Wait, yeah, there's definitely no pick. Hi, I'm George. This is Tom, and Tom does talking investing. And wow, Tom, what a week! What an absolute unbelievable week!
Nice
I don't
finish.
think you missed. Wow, I cannot believe that Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin right now?
Bitcoin right now is at 61,425.
Wow.
61,000.
Hey, Crater. So, man, I'm sorry, I'm a loss for words. We went and we planned for this show for like 2 hours this afternoon, and then we just got overwhelmed with buying and selling, stocks, and I don't know if it's gonna hold because it's like a candle wick, right? It just went straight up, like a freaking what was that in Texas with Shatner?
Oh, the
Yeah, it went
space
straight
flight.
up. Yeah, I thought we were in outer space with everything going straight up. It's just amazing to see. I don't know, but what is going on with these Bitcoin miners and why are they not going through the roof, Tom?
Well, some of them did today.
Okay.
Patience.
So, like always, we're going to talk about some miners. We're going to talk about some Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about some different cryptocurrencies. And this is all about Tom giving no financial advice at all. Tom's does no financial advice, but he's going to talk to me and he's going to explain to me how stupid I am as a buyer with stocks. But let's start off right here in the beginning. CleanSpark, $20. What do you think?
CleanSpark, $20.
Yes.
Well, I think we got to our, for those of you who watch the channel, we've had a price target, so we got there today and beyond. So yeah, I think $20 is just a stop along the way.
Oh, you think it's just going to keep going up?
Absolutely. I mean,
so
not financial advice, etc.
One of the things,
my price target is much, much higher than that.
So one of the things Tom and I were talking about was calling pigs and hogs, pigs and hogs, pigs and hogs. And I don't know if you guys know the difference between a pig and a hog, but the way it's always been explained to me is I'm a pig, just so you guys know. You can be a pig all day long, but once you're a hog, you get slaughtered. So realize that if you guys need, one thing good about selling stock is, know when to book your profits out and know when you should, go long. And when you play long, don't get confused and think you're playing short. It's just like golf. The long game's totally different than the short game. Why is my Bitfarms not taking off, Tom?
Great question. If you've been watching, I didn't add today. This is probably the first day I didn't buy Bitfarm in the last 3 weeks. So I'm waiting it out. It's funny, I just watched another YouTuber, and I won't mention their name, have a whole discussion about, Bitfarms and several of these Bitcoin miners have at the market shelf offerings. And people just really don't understand what that means and how they work. And a lot of times the stock takes a big hit for that for a period of time. So I think Bitfarms is suffering from that right now. I do think it's about to break out of that. Today was important. It closed at $5.38, and my line at $5.35 was where I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, we've got to get above this $5.35 line. We did that today. So they have a $500 million shelf offering. And everybody, I've gotten a lot of comments, and I've watched a lot of other YouTubers say, they got to announce that thing's over so that their stock can move on. The thing is, that thing's not going to be over for years. They are not going to go grab $500 million at $5 a share. They don't need it. They specified in their SEC filing exactly what they need the money for. They don't need any money right now. They've probably taken very little of this, and they're probably not going to until, someone asks, when are we going to get to 10? I think Bitfarms is going to get to 10 before the end of the year. And no, but Bitcoin does not need to go to 200,000. If we take a little bit of a bull run right here, Bitfarms is going to break out pretty soon, in my opinion.
So let's stay right on Bitcoin for a second, Tom. Bitcoin, I noticed that your line of resistance at the bottom held again, almost to the penny. And where do you think it's going to stop?
I'm sorry, what was that? I was reading.
Bitcoin. I noticed that your line that you had on the bottom of this Bitcoin, where do you think Bitcoin's going? Maybe over this weekend and into the end of this month. What are you predicting? What do you think? Again, this is not financial advice. This is Tom's magic 8-ball.
So I don't know if you guys can see my chart. We're in the middle of a giant green candle again right now. I'm in a 15-minute candle.
62.
Yeah, we're over 62,000. 62,054.
This is amazing.
Yeah, this is a wicked run up. And this is the third leg of it because, let's see, I'm very messy.
62.2. It's still going, guys.
We had a jump before the market opened. We had a giant jump during the market.
This is incredible.
And now, it looks like we're doing something again here. So that's a lot of legs up in one day. So I don't know. We'll see where it ends. There really isn't. After that $59,625 line dates back to May 10th. So that's where Bitcoin was on May 10th. It has not been back there since. So obviously you can see it hit that today. It looked like a resistance for a second. Now it's held as support, and now it's off and running. And I will tell you, there's very few. I'm trying to find a line of resistance between that and our all-time high at just under 65,000. It just doesn't feel like it's going to run straight from one to the other, but it's kind of doing that right now.
One of the questions right here, Tom, was about how back in January and February, the Bitcoin miners were really doing well, and that, everybody, it's really taken a step back. Tom shared to me some of the information, and you know what? We don't look at this as like a football game at all. We probably should look at this as a football game. When we win, us retail guys win, then they lose. And when I say they, I mean the hedge fund guys. And you got to understand, the hedge fund guys, they have a ton of money. Can you really go into explaining that a little bit more and why you think that these things are being suppressed so much, Tom?
I mean, there's a lot of institutional money in this. There's no one reason they're being suppressed. They're lagging. So as you guys know, and although it's breaking out of it right now, Bitcoin, in my opinion, has been suppressed quite a bit all summer long. Everybody was looking for the fourth quarter, and just like clockwork, since October 1st, Bitcoin has been on fire. I think from September 29th to today, we're up over 20,000.
Wait, first, we got our first super chat.
What is the price target for the super long term?
That's our first dollar that we've ever made on YouTube from Super Chat. Thank you so much, by the way. Woohoo! Thank you. Sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
Thanks for the super chat. So I'll answer that real quick, then get back to the question. What is the price target for Bitfarms for the super long term? I mean, it's so hard to say the answer to these questions. I'm going to say the price target that I put on this for 24 months was $25. So that's what I'm expecting. That's a 5x from here. And that does not assume Bitcoin's going to, 200,000 or 300,000. All Bitcoin needs to do is stay healthy between 50,000, 80,000. I think Bitcoin's going to do a lot better than that. But if it just stays healthy, really by the time Bitfarms gets their machines and starts issuing maybe the first quarter of 2022, the financial results are going to start being staggering. So quarter by quarter at a time, it's really not going to be possible to suppress these stocks. They can't have a PE ratio of 2-to-1. That's just not going to happen. There is no other example of that in the entire stock market. So I think part of the problem is people are having a show me attitude. It's a wait and see, but we're getting very close to the point in time where these financial statements are going to be staggering. I mean, we're at 62,600 right now on Bitcoin as we speak, so it's going ballistic at the moment. So, I did all my price target at $25 assumes that Bitcoin stays, between $50,000 and $80,000. If we're at $200,000, all bets are off. So
yeah, you can't even comprehend what that would be then at that point in time.
It's mind-boggling.
Guys, I'm just going to always repeat this. We always encourage everybody to do their own financial research. We don't want you taking Tom's advice. And don't ever take George's advice, please. Trust me. Mine's stupid, but Tom's is a lot better than mine. Let's just say that. But please do your own research. Dive into these stocks and find out why you think that they're going down, and have good questions, because there's a stock out there right now that I'm going to tell you about in the bit mining world, okay, that is really being it's being manipulated, okay, guys, and it's going to be another Greenwich, and I'm going to see if anybody knows who that is, but we're seeing this stack go up, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to be like a ball that drops out of the air unless Bitcoin keeps going to the moon like it is. If that happens, then all bets are off. But I want to also, the Creative Show put a really interesting comment up, and there is another channel out there that is not us. Flattery is imitation. And there is another channel that's talking investing with a picture of Tom that has nothing to do with Tom. We have no idea who it is. And I just want to let you know, this is the only financial channel that we have that's part of Can You Do Any Better, which is a thing that I'm doing, and I'll explain later in a future time. But realize that this is our only channel, guys. So please make sure you tell everybody this is the one you want to watch, because this is where you're getting the best information. I know one of the things that I'm so glad I get to do this with Tom is because he never toots his own horn. But I don't know if you guys paid attention this week. It was almost like clockwork. He picked a stock, that stock went up the next day. Every single time he did it. And I mean, this is a lot of it's luck, probably, Tom, skills, or what do you think it is that people are just looking at the basics of what you're doing?
The timing that I had this week was just a lot of that was luck. I mean, I support all my picks, and I feel like they're all going to move up, but it was unbelievable this week. I did a video, and the next day the stock popped. Every single day this week. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was really nice to see. So do me a favor, guys, if you can, hit the like button. We're up to 33 watchers. If this is your first time here, we want to thank you for stopping by. We're trying to make this as entertaining as possible. It is not ARGO. I'm letting you know, it is not ARGO. But this company, if Tom's right, what he thinks is going to happen, it's going to drop like a ball, and it's not ARGO. Anybody else have an idea of what it could be? Tom, staying on Bitcoin. We're in the fourth quarter. What do you think is going to happen when these third quarter results come in for these Bitcoin miners?
The third quarter results are going to be okay. So every quarter gets a little better. I'm really looking at, so we still have to get through the third quarter results, which come out, maybe the second week in November. And then the fourth quarter results, I'm expecting to see a significant improvement from a lot of these. And the first quarter of 2022, so this is why a little bit of this is the patience game. I mean, by the time we're looking at the Q1 2022, it's probably, April or May. So that may feel like a long time. Sorry. That may feel
LC, thanks for the super chat, $1.99, appreciate it. I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Tom.
Go ahead.
No, it's not CleanSpark, and no, it's not Marathon. Riot. Let's talk about Riot. What is going on with Riot? Because I'm getting ready to have a riot over its price.
So I added to my position in Riot this week. I did a video on Riot 2 weeks ago, and I've talked about it on several of my updates. Riot is suffering the same exact thing that Bitfarms is suffering. They have an at-the-market offering, and on Riot, it's almost like just do the math. Even if they did raise all of the money, so they have a $600 million shelf offering. So everybody's suppressing the stock. But I showed, I think in this morning's video, I showed, I think Bitcoin and Riot, Bitcoin is lagging Riot by 50% over the last month. So they're not diluting themselves 50%. Their dilution, if they do the whole 600 million, is nowhere near that. So these stocks, it's an excuse, I believe. So we're a small group of people here, but I say spread the word. A big part of these at the market offerings are big money and the hedge funds convincing people that they are a problem and they're a disaster. And I feel like nobody stops to do the math because that's kind of my thing. So I do worst case scenario. So I run the numbers. Like what if they got all their stock today at $5? How much would that dilute? What if they got all their stock at an average price of $7.50? $7.50. This is for Bitfarm, of course. You know, for Riot, they're at $26 or $28. $600 million dilution, even at this price, does not justify the amount they've already been held down. And by the way, their performance in September was better than everybody's.
So we got 3 more guesses, actually 4 more guesses. It's not Marathon. It's not CleanSpark. It's not, how do you say it? Is it Cypress Mining, which I think, you know, again, don't take my advice, talk to Tom, but I think Cypress Mining is going to be huge. At least that's what they're predicting. And it's not REX, and I've never heard of REX. Do you know what REX is? Rex? Have you heard of a Rex mining company?
I don't know that one, so I will have to look that up.
You guys seem to really like what do you call them? Your short squeezes? I noticed that a lot of people talk about shorts and short squeezes, and do you think it's the shorts that are holding stock prices down? I want to let you know Tom rolled into something that is probably going to be another opportunity, like what we think it's going to be another opportunity, like what is that game? What is it? GameStop. It's gonna be another,
AMC. Those guys are.
It's not AMC. Nothing's going to happen with AMC, guys. Just so you guys know. I'm calling it. Unless there's somebody that has just a lot of money that wants to screw with somebody else that has a lot of money. I don't think AMC's ever going anywhere, and I'm sorry that I have to burst everybody's bubble. And again, anytime I make a decision, it has to do with nothing in this little P. It has to do with what he tells me. So he tells me a lot of other stuff, and I kind of remember stuff, right, Tom? Wouldn't you say I remember it?
Absolutely.
But tell me about Beam, because you did a video about Beam, and explain to me a little bit more about Beam and why you think it could be the next short squeeze.
All right, so I'll put my Riot conversation on hold for a second. Beam, I did a video on, and it is like the least views I've ever gotten on any video. So if anybody wants to tell somebody that's an influencer about Beam, Beam is set up for a short squeeze better than any other company in the stock market, in my opinion. They have an extremely low float. So part of the problem with AMC and GameStop, you know, AMC has like 500 million shares. So when you're trying to control that many shares, it's not really realistic. Beam's float is 8 million shares. And their institutional holdings are small. They're short. I think they're either 34% or 39% of the float is shorted. So it is totally set up. It would take a very small amount of money to have one of the biggest squeezes of the year. So I'll just let you know, I hold Beam. I'm holding it as a long-term buy and hold because I think they're a very cool company. They have a solar EV charging station. They've been approved by the federal government, so everybody under the sun is going to be buying this thing. So just on its merits, I like the company, but it just so happens that I've never seen a company set up for a short squeeze like this. And I will tell you, I've tried to post this, just the information. I've tried to mention this on Wall Street Bets, and they have auto-deleted every single post I've ever put on there.
So I'm going to go and I'm going to answer a question because This question really bothers me, that the answer that I have to give you. And I just want you to know that I did not write this question, Tom. This question was not written by me. And it says, can both talk about when you remember first hearing about Bitcoin and what was your first thoughts of Bitcoin? I want to thank whoever that person is, the Creator Show. You are a very smart individual, just so you know. I heard about Bitcoin the second day it came out. The second day. It was crazy. I think it was a nickel. I think it was a nickel or 10 cents. It was something unbelievable. And I said to Tom, Tom, because he's the financial guy. I said, Tom, what do you think about Bitcoin? I'm thinking about starting to mine Bitcoin. I really think it's a great idea. Should I throw a couple $100s at it? Maybe, $500 on it. And his answer, go ahead, Tom.
Well, I did not give you a quick answer, so we remember this story slightly differently. But George he's telling the truth. Bitcoin was brand new, and you also got to understand, George throws 10 game-changing ideas at me a day, so it's hard to fully vet them all. But I looked into Bitcoin at that time, and I was shocked. The problem at that point was, it was trading, I don't remember if it was trading for $1 or whatever it was. And we were just going to buy, at that point, people were using their machines at home, just their regular PCs to mine Bitcoin. Nobody was doing this. But I ran the numbers on what my electric bill was going to be. And I'm like, George, it's going to cost us like $500 or $1,000 a month in electric bill for this. So it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. And naturally, nobody knew what the heck a Bitcoin was back then. So the whole thing didn't make any sense to me. So yeah, we actually had a very lengthy series of conversations where I determined the energy cost was too high. And I had, we had no idea we were talking about the next big thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was, was it 15, 20 years ago now?
It was a long time ago. It was at least a decade ago.
Guys, if you haven't smashed the like button, smash it. We're still over 62,000. Let's hope we can set a new high as we're talking. I have no idea who Rex Nation is. I don't know. Ask him about his predictions. Beam, if you go back and watch one of Tom's video, you can read all about Beam. It was what, 3 or 4 days ago, Tom?
Yeah, sorry. It's stock ticker BEEM. The company is Beam Global, BEAM, but for whatever reason, their stock ticker is BEEM.
Now listen, this was an interesting one. NSC, he said earlier this, you mentioned Bitcoin mining, things like workstation, Beam, skills. They all had a great push in January, February, all came tumbling down. What happened? Could it happen again? And my answer is yes, by the way. And Tom and I had a really, really interesting conversation. And I want you guys to listen to the next part of this conversation, because we're not going to go too deep into this conversation, but we want you to get a 10,000 foot overview of what's going on in the world right now. Go ahead, Tom. What do you think's going on with the world right now, Tom? You're starting to see problems. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. Who knows? I have no idea what's going on in the United States or the world or anything like that. Only thing I know right now is we have a supply chain problem getting ready to happen in serious levels. And I'm not sure if it's, consumables or food or perishable goods. I have no idea what it is. But you have to be a fool not to see there's some problems with these ports. And Tom came up with some interesting scenarios. Go ahead, Tom. You notice he's not saying anything, guys?
I don't want to give you my worldview, but I will just tell you, I think the thing that struck me the most was, the CPI numbers came out and everybody was shocked. The new jobs number came out and everybody was shocked that it was so low. We've had nothing but a series of bad news, yet we're sitting here on these indices. We're approaching the all-time high again on the S&P 500, on the Dow, on the NASDAQ, and the one that's lagging behind a little bit is the Russell, and honestly, that's the one where most of the stocks that I invest in, they're either in the Russell or Russell type stocks. So all these Bitcoin miners would more mirror the Russell. That's the one index that's lagging a little bit, and it's because of what NSC talked about, which is all those stocks got pumped up in January and February, and then they just got totally rug pulled. They were at valuations that made no sense at all. So I am always very careful, and that's one of the things I love about all the Bitcoin miners. When I do a valuation analysis on the Bitcoin miners, I find that they are undervalued. So that is extremely rare in this market. Most companies, it's very hard to rationalize their valuation. For instance, I'll pick a very controversial one. Tesla is at about $840 billion valuation. So, I know there's Tesla people, so sorry if I'm offending everybody, but there's no series of numbers that I can run to figure out how Tesla is worth more than. So I put it this way. They say, well, it's more than a car company. It's, they have AI and they have robots. And I said, okay, take every single one of those companies from every single sector, add their market cap put up all together. And I'm talking about Ford, General Motors, Volkswagen. I'm talking about all the auto manufacturers, electric or otherwise, all the AI companies, all the robotics companies. If you add those all up put together, they don't even equal just Tesla all by themselves. So I can't get to that valuation. I don't know how long it's going to take, and it may be 10 years because, this one's been going on for years and years. So, and it may be never. Maybe Tesla is always going to have just an incredible valuation. But stocks like that, some of the stocks, even some of the stocks that I'm now in, like Skills, SKLZ, back in February, that market cap was insane. So I didn't own it back then. It had run up to a valuation that made no sense. Now, that one corrected itself quickly. In fact, it overcorrected, which is what they did to all of these. They ran them up way too high. Now they've pushed them down way too low. So I think that's what's going on.
That's what you think's going on, huh?
Well, and then past that in the world, George and I have been talking about the fact that, yeah, there's an awful lot of signs of a slowdown in the economy or a potential recession or inflation or stagflation, and it's hard to project. I don't have a crystal ball. It's hard to project the future in the big picture, but there's some concerning signs out there, and for the stock market to run up the way it does, it feels overvalued,
overinflated. So let me add this real quick, and thanks everybody for watching. If you're new to the channel or you're just coming in, please hit the like button. Get us up, up, up. So let me tell you something. I just put up a Discord. We're going to be doing a Discord. There's a free section of the Discord. We're not going to go nuts. Tom has a different philosophy in investing, and I want you to hear it from him. Because what people don't understand is Tom's not a risk taker. Okay? And one of the things is I gamble. Everybody gambles, right? I don't know. I'm a risk taker. Tom, he looks at the numbers. He spends hours and hours and hours, the type of stuff that I can't do. Or, I look at something for 10 minutes and I've lost interest in it after 10 minutes. But Tom is a very different type of investor, and he rips on YouTube guys all the time because they're giving information that's not the right information. And Tom, take it away. But still, no one has guessed which miner we're talking about. No one has guessed which miner could split in half any day now in the value that they currently have. It's on the board right now, by the way. I can see it in one of these numbers. In one of these, it is on the board. So, Tom, tell me what type of investor you are.
I mean, I do two things. I'm a swing trade investor and a long-term investor. I do no day trading. That's a totally different process I'm not well suited for that. It's not for me. I find a swing trade can be anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. And the Bitcoin miners, You know, I do a lot of swing trading in the Bitcoin miners, but I also hold the position long term in the ones that I have conviction in. Because, you know, these stocks have not even started yet, in my opinion. So obviously, my channel is heavily skewed toward the Bitcoin miners. I look at 3 different sectors mostly. So the Bitcoin miners is one. I do look at the EV sector a lot, but I will tell you, I'm not, and somebody earlier, I'm sorry, their name isn't showing up anymore. Oh, Old Man Chimp, I think, asked about Lucid. And that's another one that, in my opinion, I mean, what is it, 30, 40, or billion-dollar market cap? They haven't sold a car. So I know the arguments on the flip side, but I just, when I try and do a valuation, when this year's revenue is 0, that's a really hard place to start with a valuation. That doesn't mean there isn't a valuation. There's some value, obviously. Their car looks sharp. Their battery seems to be better than everybody. They almost seem like a battery company to me. They're getting 500 and something miles confirmed on their battery, so that's amazing. But their cars start at $70,000 after you get your tax rebates for buying an EV. So this is, you know, that portion of Tesla is tiny. They're not competing with Tesla. Tesla is in the much lower end market. And, you know, and so is NIO and XPeng and all those guys. So Lucid Motors, to me, I don't see, you know, they're worth as much as, you know, things like BMW. Are they going to sell more cars than BMW? I don't think so.
I just don't. I don't see it. I'll tell you what, I don't know. I don't know anything about EV stocks or anything. I only know a little bit about mining companies, and I'm glad you're my friend, Tom. That's all I can say. But hey, I'm going to answer some of these questions that you guys are ripping out here real quick. And because this Old Man Chimp came up with a really good question. Is it better to invest in the miners, or is it better to invest in crypto itself? And I'm going to tell you something about me, and remember what I said about my predictions and stuff like that. Take it with a grain of salt, because I know nothing about anything. But the one coin that I still love is XRP. And I know everybody picks on it and rats on it, but I mean, I just don't. I think what happens is every single one of these coins, you know, it's a pump and dump with a lot of cryptocurrency. I'm sure I'm wrong when you talk about Bitcoin. I mean, it's more of a, you know, a stored value than, you know, these other coins. But XRP, to me, it seems like it's going to be a long-term play. And if they can ever get rid of this lawsuit, I have a feeling that it's just going to take off. I just don't know when they're going to get rid of the lawsuit. There's another big thing could happen this month at any time, and that is the ETFs. Talk to me, Tom, about the ETFs.
All right, I just want to get through a couple people's questions real quick, because that's a longer conversation, and I think we're all getting a little bit fooled on this ETF thing. But I had a couple of quick questions that look like easy answers. Andy Easton, Bit Digital or DigiHost? Personally, for me, I hold a lot of DigiHost. I think their upside is much, much greater than Bit Digital's, in my opinion. I did hold Bit Digital down when they were at about $4. I did some videos back then. You know, everybody said the company was fake and you know, it was kind of priced to go out of business. So yeah, I ran it up from $4, but it's kind of in a neutral zone here. And somebody did call me out on this, because at $4, I put a $20 price tag on it. Well, it did run up to $20, but now it's kind of back in the middle, and I'm just not sure what to do with it right now. DigiHost is at lows. There's just no sense to the market cap of DigiHost versus the business that they're conducting and about to conduct. So in my mind, that's a no-brainer. And by the way, they have a big project that they're doing together. So let's see.
Oh yeah, they are, where they can start to host.
So Cypher, so NSC says, well, what is Cypher's revenue then? LOL. And yeah, I think their revenue is also 0. That is another one that's very, very hard to put a valuation on. They do have a different equation, though. Unlike a Lucid Motors, where we don't have any idea how many cars they're going to sell, Cypher, we know what they're going to do. They've bought over 14 exahash worth of miners. So the question is more execution at this point. Are they going to get them, install them, run them efficiently? And that's a huge question. So I don't know. Cypher, that's a tough one.
Hang on, Tom. We got a new high on Bitcoin right now at 62,320. It's back down to 63.12, right around there. Not a new high overall, but just a new high for the day.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to push to 63,000 right now.
Go ahead.
I'm starting to think it's going to try and run up and test the all-time high here all at once, but we'll see what happens.
So one of the things Tom's taught me is investing, and that is this. And listen, I'm a very tunneled vision when it comes to investing. I'm like, dude, I love Bitfarm. Let's stay on Bitfarm. You know, and then you miss your run on CleanSpark, or you miss your run on HUD 8, right? I mean, look at the run today on HUD 8. And Tom's like, look, you got to take your money and you got to spread it out. You can't go all in on one company and then get all mad when something doesn't happen on that one company, because you're like, wow, Bitcoin's at 62. Why the heck didn't Bitfarm go up more, right? And he's like, you spread out your risk, and then you get more of an opportunity for a better return. So the more you can know these stocks, know the fundamentals of them, and then spread your risk out, okay? Nobody has answered the question, which mining company is going to be another Greenidge? And Greenidge was up 7.83% today. Woo! Hopefully we hit the bottom on Greenidge. And yes, CleanSpark is an unbelievable company. I think CleanSpark's the best.
Yeah, talking about CleanSpark, I've done a series of videos on CleanSpark. That it is one of my big positions. I love that company and their stock. Now, their stock over the last 3 weeks has been behaving properly. So it's run up from 11 or 12. If you watch my videos, I mean, I make no bones about it. I just straight said $11 for CleanSpark is a ridiculous price. So, you know, my target was $15.68. And I think we broke through that today. So I'm feeling better about CleanSpark, but that's one we had to wait for a long time. CleanSpark behaved poorly for a while. So to George's point, I usually hold 6 or 7 or 8 of these, not in equal positions. I hold them based on, you know, which one's been suppressed, which one is due for a run. So I don't know when that run is going to come, but in my opinion right now, Bitfarms is way undervalued. It's due for a run. CleanSpark is still due for a run. Riot is due for a run. It's undervalued, to name a few. So, and there's more. So I don't know which one's going to go first. It's always a surprise. Like HUD 8 is on fire. Now their management does great execution. Their marketing is awesome. But for them to be double the market cap of Bitfarms, there's no sense in that.
Howdy boom balades. Howdy boom balades. But listen, BTBT. I said, Tom, I go to Tom on Monday. I go, Tom, I need to buy some BTBT. I said, Tom, look at this. He goes, dude, you can't buy BTBT. I go, why? Go ahead, Tom, take it. BTBT goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So he's like, it doesn't make any sense what's happening to it. He goes, it goes up and down, up and down. There's somebody in it that's pumping it and dumping it.
BTBT is a great day trading stock or very short-term swing trading stock, but the volatility is astronomically higher than most of the rest of the Bitcoin miners that we've been talking about. And the other thing about BTBT is, and it's not that I don't like them, I did hold them, and I took a run up with them just a few months ago. But they don't disclose information the way the rest of the miners are doing. All of the miners are getting on board and kind of giving monthly operational updates, and that is just not happening with Bit Digital. And I think I know why. I think their formula is a little bit more complicated. I think their profit margin is a little bit lower, and I think they're still in the middle of moving all their machines around, because if you remember, they had to take them all out of China and move them to points elsewhere. So Some machines got lost in the middle, but they did have a lot of machines, and they are moving
Yeah.
them. We know 2 exahash worth is going to DigiHost.
So that was the reason Tom told me to stay away from it. Has that lawsuit ever been settled? So there was a lawsuit that somebody sued BTBT saying, "I don't think you have this many."
Now, it wasn't a lawsuit. There was a short report that came out and said this company is fake. I mean, they didn't allude to it. They said this company is not real. They don't have any miners. Their management belongs in jail, etc., etc. So. LC, thank you for, all right, Riot price prediction.
Hang on a second. You skipped over the most important thing.
Oh, okay.
And that was in the one right above there. And Ken wrote, Tom's one of my new favorite YouTubers on stock now, Tom. Thank you very much, Tom. And thank you very much, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. I really appreciate everybody's feedback. You guys have no idea. So any comments you guys leave on my videos, I read every single comment. I try to respond at least about 50% of the time.
Look at that. Somebody in Belgium, it's 11 p.m. He goes, let's go Bitcoin and CleanSpark. That's so cool. Isn't it cool? Freaking the internet's amazing. We're talking to somebody in Belgium. We'll probably never get to meet, but keep it real over there in Belgium. Sorry, Tom.
All right.
I get excited, guys, when I sit here and do this. I don't know if you notice this. It gets me really, really pumped. Oh my goodness! 62.5. It just hit 62.5, guys. 62.5.
We're getting a run up in real time. This is a great time to have
Wow, 62.5. Wow, that's awesome. Wow, this is insane. So I just want to say one more thing. I'm not giving it. If no one can guess this, it's a 3-letter. I'll give you this. It's 3 letters. It's not 4. It's 3 letters. And this company, be careful. All I'm saying is be careful with it. It's 3 letters. Anybody want to guess? One of these Bitcoin mining company is not like the other. And I don't know when it's going to crash, but it will crash. I'm not positive, because if Bitcoin prices keep going up and up and up, and this is not financial advice, obviously that is not going to happen, because that is the catalyst to this whole game with Bitcoin miners is the price of Bitcoin. Sorry, Tom.
That's all right. I want to get back to LC's question. Riot price prediction and resistance level. So for me, Riot has some massive support at around $25. It's only just now getting going. I did not put a short 2 to 4 week price prediction on that, because I'm not sure when it's going to pop. But I think I've got a $40 price target on that. You know, I think in the next 90 days, it will get back to the top of its trading range, which is 40. And if you guys remember, this thing was even double that back, you know, at the peak of things. I do think it did get a little bit ahead of itself, but it belongs back at 40 right now, in my opinion. But I'm guessing it's going to take, you know, somewhere up to 90 days to get there.
Hey, Mayo Man, I guess it is. Mayo Man. Hey, buddy. Thanks for watching over there in Ireland at 10. Do we sound funny, by the way we talk, or do you guys sound funny? I don't know. I never can figure that one out. It might be us. It might be you. I don't know. One of us. But keep it real over there.
Depends who you're asking.
Do you live in the northern or the southern side? Northern, southern. Do you have a CleanSpark prediction, Tom? Usually, guys, we're already done by now, just so you know. So we're kind of going in uncharted territory right now. So if you see us like, you know why. So CleanSpark, where do you see a price at
It was also a wild trading day today. So I'm looking, we're at 62,500.
Whoa, it just went to 62,510. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys.
So my CleanSpark price prediction, it just hit my first price target, my short-term price target, like yesterday or today. I have my 12 to 18 month price target for that is $45. So again, I gotta say it. It's not financial advice. This is just my opinion. But if you look at that company before they even started doing Bitcoin, they were at $45, and Bitcoin now makes up 90 to 95% of that company, and their valuation makes no sense to me at all right now. So I think it's going to take some time, and they're going to be one of the ones that has to show everybody in their financial results. But I feel like they're going to $45.
Wow. That's awesome.
MZM can BTBT come back to around $15. Like I said, I'm staying away from that one, but I would not be surprised to see it run up to $15 or $20. It just did it. It just did it at Bitcoin numbers much lower than this. So that's not my kind of trade, but maybe it should be.
Yeah, really. Well, thanks guys for watching. Anything you want to close with, Tom? Thanks guys. Just listen, guys. We had an unbelievable day. If you guys, hopefully you book some profit out, because I always get scared of the weekends, but always Bitcoin never seems to fail us on the weekend. It always seems to go to the moon. But come Monday morning, it's back into reality time. So just be careful, guys, and make sure you're not, being too greedy. Remember, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Tom, you got anything?
Just wanted to say thanks again. Thanks everybody for watching the videos. Yes, somebody asked, do you have a regular schedule? For right now, we're live streaming at 4:15 every Friday. We may add to that, but for right now, we're just kind of doing a weekly wrap-up on Friday afternoons. So, and I post at least one video every day. So, and I appreciate all the comments. Again, they offset some of the negative comments. So, thank you everybody for watching our stream, watching our videos, and hopefully everybody had an awesome day. This was an across-the-board green day, so good things.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. See ya.
Thanks.